Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing my new Beast Deity deck that I built with the new cards from the extra booster that came out, as well as BT10, Triumphant Return of the King of Knights, and a couple other cards. I think like set 9 had a few of these. So without further ado, let's get started. Beast Deities have multiple starters now, but I decided to put a new one from BT10. Just to showcase the newer cards that they have. So I chose Beast Deity Riot Horn. The nice thing about him is he has a decent 5,000 attack for a grade 0 starter. And he has no cost for his effect. So it's just when it's... Basically, he's one of those guys where when you run on top of him, you're going to want to put him in one of your rear guard columns. You don't want to put him directly behind your Vanguard. Because his effect is when his rear guard with Beast Deity becomes stand, he gets a stand as well. So he works really good in a Beast Deity deck as a early game booster. And he has no cost, like I said, so he's pretty decent because you want to save up your counterblast for this deck. Next, I went with 4 heal. And the thing I tried to do with Novagrappler, since Novagrappler has so many different alternate art trigger cards, or just different trigger cards in general, I decided to showcase all the different ones. So they have 2 different heals currently, and then I went with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stands, I believe. All of them are different. So we have some of them have effects that shuffle back into the deck, like Battle Riser, Gravel Mania, Turbo Riser, and then we have ones that are 5,000 boosters and just do not have any effects. So those are the 6 stands, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 criticals. The deck doesn't focus too much on critical. I still try to keep it stand based, but I did also want to go for that surprise element, so I did run a couple of criticals in here, and because they have different draws, I just put in 2 draws just for that extra draw power, so my hand is not super tiny all the time. For grade 1s, 2 Beast Deity blank Marsh. It's a pretty decent Beast Deity card that I checked in here. 3 Beast Deity Hilarity Destroyer. I'm trying him out. He's a new guy from BT10. This guy was from BT9. So I haven't played too much with him. But he's your typical, when the attack hits the Vanguard, you can discard a card from your hand and draw a card. Next, 4 8K Vanilla Tough Boy. He's really important in this deck because you want to try to be able to attack over cross rides. And then I still went with the Queen of Heart and the King of Heart 20k column combo, easy 20k column. So 3 Queen of Heart. And I still have my 1 Twin Blader. I only have 1 Sentinel for Novagrappler, unfortunately. So similar to my Great Nature deck and my Dimensional Police deck, there's only 1 Sentinel. So that's the grade 1 lineup. The nice thing about only running 1 Sentinel, yes, it does make it harder for you to guard your opponent in late game. But the only advantage to that is you get to run a lot more grade 1 tech cards. So you can try to go for an early rush sort of strategy. So you just have to know how to play the cards. I mean, it's still possible to win because you get an extra crit in and your opponent didn't guard when they should have, or things like that happen. For grade 2, 4 Beast Deity Hatred Chaos. This is a pretty important card. It's your 12k grade 2 Beast Deity. And then 3 Beast Deity Golden Anglet. This is similar to that guy. The only difference is that he's 12k only when he becomes stand. So that's why the deck is still pretty reliant on stand triggers or just standing effects in general. Like if a Vanguard has the ability to stand your rear guards. So he becomes 12k in that scenario. Next, 410k vanilla King of Sword. Just pretty decent, along with Queen of Heart. And then those are the grade 2s. So for the grade 3s, I have a very interesting lineup. I went with opted to run 3 Beast Deity, Yamatano Drake. He's the same as the grade 2. When he becomes Stan, he becomes 1300, whereas this guy was 1200. So he's pretty good against cross rides in that regard. And he's a Beast Deity. So 3 of him. So typically you're going to want him to be on your rear guard circle, not as the Vanguard. And then I went with 1 Asura Kaiser, my old school Asura Kaiser, from the very first booster pack Descent of the King of Knights, or whatever it was called. He is your grade 3 drive check card. He gets to stand rear guards. And then the trial deck, Gold Rutile. People don't like him because he's only 10,000. But he's still pretty good if you break ride on top of, or if you break ride him, he's still pretty good. And he's what you save up your counterblast for, pretty much. And then the last card is 4 of my Beast Deity Ethics Buster. This is the Ethics Buster Break Ride card. He is really good. He stands your front. Yeah, he stands your front row rear guards when you break ride. So typically you're gonna want to break ride Rutile on top of him and get a ton of attacks in, or you're gonna want to break ride Asura Kaiser on top of him. The only downside of that is, or the only problem with my deck right now is that these 2 affect this guy, but they don't affect this guy, so it still evens out somehow. And the fact that you still get multiple attacks in is really good. So that's basically the deck right now. It's kind of a hodgepodge / Beast Deity, or it's kind of like an incomplete deck at this point. It's just for fun. I just threw all the different Novagrappler cards that I had together to make this deck. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks.